John Deere is actually a racist company. John Deere is now target of a racial discrimination lawsuit by a black man who worked there for 12 years and alleges he was harassed from day one at the company, okay? This is an interesting story. Let's put up the graphic of I think this is their headquarters. The lawsuit filed on June 29th in the Iowa District Court for Polk County says Johnnie Hogan was hired in September 2010. It claims he was called a racial slur on his very first day. According to the Miami Herald, Hogan's attorneys assert that ever since John Deere has allowed a culture of racism to flourish and thrive within the Des Moines Works facility. While he tried to ignore much of the antagonistic behavior, Mr. Hogan said there was one nickname that stuck with him for years, the angry black man. One supervisor even used it at a morning meeting, according to the lawsuit. Now, I need you to understand the game they're playing here, okay? People are allowed to get angry. People are allowed to express emotion within proper standards and barriers. That's fine. But see, black folk, men and women, we're told if we get angry, we're gonna have a reputation as the angry black man or the angry black woman, right? They're trying to dilute you actually standing up for yourself. This is a preemptive attack to limit your comfort in being able to talk for you, all right? The lawsuit illustrates several other examples of racist behavior at the facility, including jokes about Hogan eating fried chicken on a lunch break, and a coworker asking him if he ever worked in the cotton industry. When Hogan answered in the affirmative, the coworker allegedly said, "It's good you and your ancestors have something in common." Another colleague asked Hogan to teach him how to make cornbread because his wife really likes black people cornbread. Hogan was even subjected to threats, including a supervisor saying he needed to be chained to a dock, and another worker saying he left Hogan's children in the pool to drown, according to the Herald. Hogan reportedly complained about the harassment to a compliance hotline in November 2020. No action was taken, no surprise there. He was, however, transferred in 2021 to a new department where he experienced even more racism, including being referred to as boy. A second hotline complaint in March 2021 resulted in the firing of a supervisor, which earned Hogan the disdain of his colleagues. That month, Hogan reportedly filed a complaint with the Iowa Civil Rights Commission. At that point, his lawsuit says Hogan supervisors at John Deere started to over supervise him, harassing him for little things such as time spent in the bathroom. Into this year, he alleges he was continually yelled at, singled out, and discriminated against out of fear of retribution. And as a result of the mental distress and emotional distress he suffered because of the discrimination and harassment he endured, Hogan went on short-term disability. His lawsuit against John Deere seeks a jury trial, damages, and a court order for the company to examine discriminatory practices. This is not a silo or separate from many of the cultural realities that exist in corporate America, right? So it took 12 years. I can't imagine what his psychology is today. I'm sure that he's hypersensitive to a lot of things because of what he endured. I'm glad today he's standing up for himself. But Jackson, this is not really abnormal. This is pretty normative in white dominated cultures in this country.
Yeah, it's definitely normative. And I mean, look at how this country was founded. Look where we came from. Look at the type of culture that's passed through family. And obviously this is indicative of the type of people who come through the company, because he was switched to another facility and had to endure even worse treatment. And it's important to know, people who are in situations like this, they're really trapped. You can't just necessarily up and pack your things and move to another job. That could be inconvenient, maybe for affordability, or maybe you have children who are in a good school district. There's so many reasons why people can't just up and move. So, when minorities, black, whether it's Black people, Latino people, whoever it may be, are in situations like this, oftentimes there's really not much they can do. And as we saw, he was punished for trying to do something about it.
Well said.